2:20, and I'm like, just not sure what time it is or what day it is. Welcome everybody, Corrie Thorne, the spiritual healer, coming in to just do a quick check-in. I was actually thinking it was Sunday, and I'm like, well, I have a lot of teaching to do on Sunday, so it can't be Sunday. It is actually Saturday. So I'm in my office. I have some other recordings to do as well. So I'm just waiting for some people to join in here before I start. If you're new to my Facebook or my YouTube channel, this is being broadcast on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome. It's so nice to see you here. Please, I always say, please stay till the end. You never know what's coming in. So just while we're waiting for some people, I'm just closing out some of my other links that I have open. I have everything open here to be sure I can stay connected to you. All right. So I was in yesterday, and yesterday we talked about what was happening, in the energies and some of the things that's going on. Days and times change, and everything changes very quickly, and you just never know where your day is going to take you or how things are going to unfold. So it definitely was a different day yesterday than I thought it was going to be. But I just always like to say, just, live in this moment, because you never know what your next moment is going to be. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with this morning. We are in the new moon energy. So welcome to the new moon energy that's coming through for us, which is tomorrow, and then it's Sunday and Monday, and it is 2:22. So we have some magical with the numbers here that is happening. My voice is a little wonky today. Hello, Lindsay, Tracy, Stacy. Good morning. Good morning, everybody who's watching and doesn't comment. There's always a lot of people who watch and don't comment, and that's, and I know you're there. I love that you're there, and I thank you very much for always being here. I am getting ready to try to finish up the other zodiacs as well, the monthly messages. I recorded two yesterday, or I recorded two yesterday that didn't actually download. So they were Leo. I think they were Leo and Taurus, I think it is, and they didn't download. So the videos were done. They were all done. So I'm guessing they were messages for me to just hear. If you've seen a post that I just posted on Facebook, it's not on YouTube. I was talking about yesterday or the past few days. You've seen lots of double numbers. Yeah, there's a lot of double numbers right now. A lot of energy happening right now. There's just so much going on. I have a lot of energy happening. I'm like looking around my room. There's a lot of things happening. So hold on, I got to breathe this through. So yesterday I posted a video, or last few days, you hear me talking about ashes and like it is chalky, dusty stuff I keep seeing in the air. Well, yesterday there was actually a volcano and I posted that in my Facebook page, and I could see these ashes and I could see this volcanic, but I could also see this chalky dust. And then I was reading about this big thing that that one of the big billionaires, I can't really say names because you know how it goes. And so is in full support or something of supporting blocking out the sun with this chalk stuff or whatever it is. And I'm like, holy, like all of this stuff that I'm channeling through has to do with weather or weather changes, but it also has to do with emotions. Weather and emotions all tie into the same energy. Stacy, your room was 111. So crazy, right? I know. It's just like, it's so amazing. Good afternoon, Tara and Raina. Good afternoon. So our emotions are very all over the place, just like the weather, just like the things that are happening. We're seeing like 1 minute it might be sunny, the next minute you may feel like holy crap, what's going on? Very up and down. It's like we're trying to adjust ourselves. Yes, he is, right, Lisa? Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I'm like, what the? And I've been channeling this, and I was drawing a picture of a man inside of this vortex energy, and I wasn't sure who the man was. And I'm like, well, he doesn't belong here. Why is he in my channel messages? And he's not an angel. He's a human. And it was kind of like a human trying to be a god. Like a human trying to be a god is what I was picking up. And I'm like, This is not the way things are supposed to be. So yes, Lisa, there's a whole lot to this. I know that I'm channeling through on this chalky stuff that I keep seeing. And I'm like, this is not good. It's not how things are supposed to be. So yeah, I'm trying to see my comments. I have my other camera set up, so because I'm going to record a live full moon, and not a live. I'm going to record a video for the new moon, and I'm sitting over there to do that. But yeah. So good afternoon. Just letting people join in. I see the room is filling up here. I do have some throat issues going on. Like I said, yesterday's energy, today's energy, it's no better today. I don't feel any better today. It's a lot of good stuff, but there's also a lot of energy around us. So you never know. So one moment you're laughing, next minute you're crying. 1 minute the sun is shining, next minute it's raining. 1 minute it's warm, the next minute it's cold. It's like the weather and us are just like it. Like our minds are changing like the weather. Our hearts are changing like the weather. Our emotions are changing like the weather. The weather is changing like that. The world is changing like that. But the world also has a lot of things going on. I'm never getting off my faith train. I'm staying on my faith train. Been on it since the beginning of all of this last February, and I'm staying on it. So so you can't make this shit up. So, oh, you're so welcome, Katie. And so the last few times I've been in here, and you just can't make this shit up. Every single zodiac reading I am doing, this one card comes out in every month. No matter what month it is, this comes out. This new moon energy is about renew. It's about new. It's about rebirth. This zero card, this rebirth, 8 hearts, comes out with every single one of the zodiac videos. Never fails. It is showing up everywhere. You see it everywhere. And it's everywhere. And it keeps reminding us. It's like we've already given birth to that new life, to that new. It's almost like teenage energy. And I was saying this yesterday. I don't know if this might have been a Gemini reading that I was doing yesterday. I said, what it feels like is like, when you're a teenager and you think you know it all, or when you're a teenager and you're trying to get your preteen, you want to be a teen, or you're a teenager, you're so close to being grown up, you want to be grown up, you want to do all your own stuff. And when you can't, you have these tantrums. Well, it feels like that kind of energy. It's like 1 minute I'm happy, 1 minute I'm not. It's like you can't please a teenage kid. And I love teenagers. I love being with teenagers. I think there's so much when we give them an opportunity to talk, but it's thinking back to me being my own teenager and just trying to define yourself and trying to find who you are. Well, that's kind of what this is. It's like that rebirth, that pause that you give yourself, or that you have to sit in before you spew it out, before you let things out. It's like there's a lot of that kind of energy around, but this is wholeness. It's like we got so much of the track left to run. We got so much to cover yet. We got so much to learn. We're newbies, right? And there's a whole sense of newbies. There's so much to learn, and there's so much new, and there's so much trying to be pushed up on us. And there's an agenda kind of to a lot of energy that's around us right now that just don't feel right. Yesterday I was in a whole different energy, and today it's another energy that's happening. So yes, Lisa, 1 minute I want to go forward, and the next I want to quit. Hi, Shauna. Right? That's my card. The old set, no corners. Right? The old set, no corners, right? And so, yeah. And so this is not even a new set. There's another new set that's not printed, but you're going to see that in a moment. So that's the card that keeps coming up for me. And I'm like, this is, and it's in every single zodiac reading that I am putting out. This card is there. It's everywhere. And so we have that energy here. We have that sense of self. So it's like it's almost like sometimes you feel like we're being forgotten about or underestimated. And sometimes we underestimate the mind of teenagers. We underestimate what we do have, and we don't listen. So it feels like our humanity as a general, like the 99% of humanity sometimes is not being listened to, or the 1% could, really convince the 99% that there's less of, but there's actually more of. Like, there's just a lot of things that are playing out for us here. Hello, everybody's joining in. So you may be feeling that within your personal relationship with yourself, with your family, with your friends, with all over the place. And you may be all over the place yourself. You'll be powered up 1 minute, just powered up, ready to go, just in charge, like spark. I'm just going to go do this. And I'm going to get this done. And I'm in charge and I want to do this. And you start doing something and then you forget what you're doing and you get sidetracked. And that's what it feels like, that kind of like, we don't have enough energy. We don't have enough energy to go the full length, and we need to be able to pause. We need to rest. We need to sit in what we are experiencing so that we don't make impulsive decisions, so we don't react and respond. And this card is coming calling out to me. And this is the imposter light. And I'm telling you, the world is full of imposter light. And so when we're not being ourselves and not true to ourselves, is that we're in that imposter light. Well, this imposter light is everywhere. And this imposter light is also showing me like the 28th. And I feel like this is coming around the full moon in April, is that's going to light up a lot of shadow stuff. The end of April the 28th, like around there, it's 27, 28. I'm picking up like something is being exposed or something is being seen. So I'm doing a lot of prediction stuff right now. I feel like there's a lot of prediction energy here, and I'm not, hold on, I'm trying to get this card up. See, I can't even do two things at once. Oh, that's right. I couldn't even find it on the screen, could I? That's right. Ha. Imposter O'Malley, right? And so she's the imposter to herself. You know, when you're depleted, notice her eyes. She has nothing in her eyes. There is nothing there. It's like that blank, that emptiness. It's like, but if you can see, hope is there. There's hope. There's faith. There's like everything's right there in those beautiful red flowers. And you know, that desire, that passion. You also got, if you look, it's like a screen. You can see like the screen look in there. It's like everything is coming through the net. So when I talk about, in one of my messages that I did, one of my channeled messages that's on YouTube, I speak about, you know, I think it was one of my meditations. I speak about if we could just stretch out this net, right? If we could all join together in this humanity and we could come together and not let the world kind of convince us that we're enemies, not let a selective crew convince a group that you're enemies, that if we could come together as one and we could be this, is that we could join together as this big netted community, like net together, network these thoughts, these words of inspiration and faith and staying in faith and messages of faith and love and possibility, that we truly can, you know, we can hold the love and light so powerful that the things that are meant to come through, that is good for us, will come through, but the rest ciphers through. Like all the things that are not for us can't make its way through. It's like it holds us safe and we can work it together. And so that's what's coming up for me today. So where in your life are you personally not being connected to trusting the light within, or being an imposter? Where are you being an imposter within your own self? Where are you losing yourself because fear, or you're second guessing? You're like, oh, maybe it's right. Maybe I need to do this. And where are you where are you standing still and say, you know what? I have to think about this. I have to process this. I have to decide for myself, because what we're being told is to really use your own mind. Think for yourself. I don't ever want to think for somebody else. And I don't want to take away somebody's free will. I think everybody needs to. But I always say, you just, like, we truly believe we have this next moment, this next day, like this next opportunity. You don't know what the next moment's going to be like. You don't know how fast your life is going to change. Like, something changed in our world yesterday in a matter of moments, just sitting on the step, and I seen a big angel. And the moment I said there's a big angel in the sky, something changed. Something happened. A call came in and something changed. And you just never know when things are going to change in your life. And to be able to just have faith and trust and know that you can't control a lot of things, but as a humanity that comes together, or as a family that comes together, or as a network, or as a partner, or as friends, or whatever you are, that can come together with the highest good and a common good, that we all embody this more sense of a of love, to know that we have to be the mature adults, that we can't be the teenagers. We have to emotionally and spiritually mature within our own stories, so that we're not responding and reacting to how we would have in the past, so that we can start to be the voice that we need to be. And so that message is coming out loud and clear for me today. And I'm going to give one more for this one, and then I'm actually going to pull a couple cards for people today. So, and I'm starting with Lisa Star Francis. I am starting with Lisa Star Francis for a card today. So this next card is for everybody, and it's the unseen wound. And this is why, like, we, stop being at war, at battle. So see the card? It has the 8, just like the hearts in the first card has the 8s. And it's that, so the hearts in the first card looks like shadow boxes, right? They look like shadow hearts, like shadow box hearts. It's like the pink is deep down. They look like you got to travel in deep. So it's the heart. What is at the heart of the matter? What is at the heart of the truth of us? What is it we truly want? What are we truly seeking? How do we really want to be seen? What do we want to see in the world? And of course, peace, freedom, contentment, love. And so there's a lot of things that go with this virtuous life, and deliverance has been coming up a lot for me, to be able to, sorry, I got to move myself. I got to readjust myself in my chair. And I look like Holly Hobby today, just saying. You are so blessed, Lisa. And so it's that whole energy of that, when you look deep, it's what is at the heart of the matter? What is deep down inside of us? What are we seeking? What are we searching? So it's Thekla, and her swords are down. This is not about going to war with ourselves or with anyone else. This is about becoming this is about being at peace with where we have been. And how are we going to lighten the load? How can I lighten my load? How can I be there for somebody else without bringing in my misery? How can I be there without projecting, blaming, or sending out some other energy on somebody else? And you just never know how blessed we are or how fortunate we are until we have to watch somebody else in pain and suffering. So the days that, and I always say this in my work, I say, there's, when we look at our lives and and everything starts to go our way. So it's like that young energy again, right? So when everything starts to go your way and everything's going your way, you're like, oh, the world is so good. If you all could just see the joy in the world. And then when your world is not going so good, you're like, this world sucks and there's so much going wrong. Well, when things are going good for you, it doesn't mean that it's going good for everybody in the world. And so I'm very aware of the energy and how that resonates with me. It's like my personal experience is my personal experience. Somebody else's is theirs. And to have compassion for where somebody else is in their story and what is happening in their lives. It's that, oh, can't you just see the sunny day? Can't you see the bright side? And yeah, it can be a bright side, and there's hope. And you can stay in hope and have that faith. But as I said yesterday, like, to have that, to be an optimist doesn't mean that it's, so to be an optimist, you can be very much the dreamy sense and just hold on to that. But, just because you're not always that cheerful, happy about everything doesn't mean that you don't have faith. And I have some incredible strong faith, and I'm a realist to the fact that just because I'm where I am doesn't mean that's where the rest of the world is or where the rest of the world is feeling. Or so, yeah. And so just holding on to that unwavering faith in not only the good, but in the bad. Yes, exactly. And so that's exactly what I was just going to say, Raina. It's like, and so when you look at life and you look at times, when do we pray? When do we keep asking? When do we start searching out? And in my work, when people start to come to me for my work, they often come only in their bad times. When they're at their lowest, when they're on their knees, when they're struggling, oh my God, I need you now. And I'm like, the whole point of doing awakening and doing the work on you is that you show up in the bad times. You show up for yourself, in the good times. I mean, when things are going good, you keep praying. When things are going, it's not only in desperation that we reach out for healing and help and guidance and all of those things. In my good and in my bad, I'm here every single day. I show up as me, in my body, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. I hold on to the faith, even on my worst days. that this journey is not about asking for help only when I'm desperate. It is about every single morning I get up and I go to prayer. Every single morning I meditate. Whatever your prayer is, whatever that means for you, that time in contemplation that I spend to still say thank you. Those type of things that I do every day. It's a ritual to me, and my little spot that I sit in my altar. And so if you do it, if you make yourself and your journey a practice, and you realize that even on the good days, we still have to do this. On the bad days, we might need the extra, but knowing that it's about doing it all the time. It's about what we continually contribute to. So if I could be a part-time spiritual person, or a part-time good person, or a part-time, a part-time healer, you can't. This is just who I am. It is what I am. So even on my worst days. So today is probably one of the not so great days, but I'm here and I'm me, and I have a smile, and I have a feeling in my heart of like gratitude, just gratitude. And I'm holding space, and I'm holding love. And that's the big part about all this, is that no matter what, in the good, bad, and the ugly, you got to show up in good, bad, and the ugly. You can't let faith get away. Hope and faith has to be the two top things that you have to hold on to in order for moving forward. Okay, Lisa Star Francis. Hi, everybody who's joining in. You needed to hear that, Jamie? Good. Good, yeah. And that's why I say people reach out to me when they're only in their, when they're desperate. It's something that you do as a practice. It's something that you do for your maintenance, for your self-care, for all of those things that you do in life. Yes, that's why my book is called The Way, right? It's the way home to you. And so when I was writing the book The Way, which is nowhere near coming out yet, when I wrote More Than Existing, it was the realization that I couldn't quit. That you can't quit, right? There's no quitting, right? It's like you have to get honest. You have to take responsibility for your life. There's no one coming in to save you. You have to do the work. The way was to truly find my way home, find my way back to me. And that was going to take commitment. And that takes work. Okay, Lisa, here we go. Oh, Lisa, you got the card that was on TikTok yesterday. You got the 13, which is a very lucky number. So you have the 13, you have the unassuming Amara, and she's not assuming anything, is that she's become very aware that if we assume things, we can make an ass of ourselves, right? And so that whole sense of assuming we think we know people, assuming we think we know what people are thinking, assuming what we think is happening around us, and not assuming, but also, when you start to look into your own mirror, into your own reflection, or into the Christ-like light, when you start to look in, you start to get more of a knowing. I know, not assume, I know what it is that I have to do to be me. I'm trying to find your card here. I know what it is that I have to do to walk into my light. I know, I am aware. And so the language, as you would well know about language, the language changes. And so she's turning to look at us. And if you can look really closely at her, she has this beautiful, beautiful, crystally little headband that is like her little crown that goes right into her third eye. She knows that her human eyes, her ears, and her mouth can truly be connected into something that it's not always true, what she thinks she's seeing. So she doesn't always believe everything she sees. She doesn't always believe everything she hears. She questions. She is learning to question. And she's letting people kind of assume what they want to of her. She doesn't really care what they think. And that's where you are now, Lisa. That's kind of some of your energy. So there is a strong sense that she is in the maiden energy. So is there somewhere where there is some assuming that's still happening? Are you fully becoming unassuming? You know the power of words. You know the power of words. And look at Rhonda, who just posted at 1444. And so you have 13, which could be a 4, right? could be a 2. So you could be this, you could be that, but you're going to leave a little bit of, there's some surprise energy. And if you look at the golden light that is illuminating around her, you can see it is hearts. There is a lot of hearts there. And so there's a lot of love being provided to you, even when you think there is not. So when you think there is no hope, or you think that something is done, or you think, it's like, no, either which way, you are truly now walking into your light. You're walking into a different energy. You're walking into some sort of shift. So don't get into your head, because we have Mavis, we have Master Manipulator Mavis here. And so she is believing the head story sometimes, or she's getting stuck in some of the energies that is out there, or some of the imposter light. So you're getting a little bit of a heads up about the imposter light. And the same thing with those golden hearts that you're seeing, Lisa. Those golden hearts that you're seeing, see, there is beautiful yellow birds. And there's a little bit of a volcano happening above her head. You notice those hearts, right? And so then this one also has a series of hearts. So we have a little bit of bleeding heart. What are we bleeding into? Where are we losing what needs to go into you? So you're balanced between giving and receiving. Your 2 stories, like there's several stories and then there's a truth. So one story is bleeding into the other. So there's some stories, and I feel like that's today's stories and other lifetime stories that are bleeding in. So I have some bleeding in stories here that is happening, that is taking place. But I have to see, you got that. This is probably why I spoke about this when I came in, Lisa. That story that I told about about the dust and the ashes and the volcanoes, somehow there is some sort of eruption energy that's around you as well. But there is that sense of, like, she's in her head. You can't see her head. She can't see herself right now. And she can't see her worth. She can't see her value. But she is being held tight, because the root of her, the base of her, is strong. It is connected. And it's like there's something that's keeping you grounded and rooted as you're going through whatever it is that is coming your way. But that master manipulator, that's something I really want you to explore a little bit deeper within yourself and where you're seeing it. I am picking up, and I'm picking up some past stuff. I have some, I feel like I have some prediction stuff that's coming through on a bigger level. And I am getting red deserts. I'm getting the red deserts. I'm getting, and they're kind of in the background, I think there. And there's a sense of like the red deserts. And so there's a lot of past stories that are coming up around you, and they're telling you to stay very connected to right here, right now, and to be present right now. And I find myself, Lisa, my what is this? What is it? Oh, this stone, my nukum something, is it? I can't remember. But this stone, I keep wanting to twist it and turn it and hold it. Like really, truly wanting to hold. This is like a protection stone, I believe. And I really want to hold this in protection. And it's almost like I'm sending you some protection stuff and some protection energy around you, and twist it. And so there's some twisting that's happening here, and to not get caught in that. I also have, Lisa. So I also have, some sort of return, a return to something, a return to somebody you used to be, or something you used to be, a return to something or somebody you used to be. And I feel you got the unseen moon, you got the Thekla, a return to somebody you used to be, and it's going into that little girl. It's like into the eyes of there's an old story here. And I don't know where this ties in, but I feel like this is tying into something of about you being about 8, 9 years old. And there's some old residue energy that's being released from you. So during this new moon, with the intentions and with the new you and that refreshed energy, I feel like coming in, I feel like whoever you were up until here is being returned to you. So you're returning to everything of the essence, the being of you, prior to some contamination. Prior to some contamination. And it's truly coming from higher than us and beyond us, but there is some big healing around you. And infinity, right? We got the 8. And everything goes in cycles, but you are truly breaking a cycle right now. Truly breaking a cycle. And for you to trust that. I hope that resonates with you. I just want to channel in. My eyes want to, so, my eyes want to channel in, and if anyone knows Lisa Star Francis and I, when we're together, I just start to channel instantly. She starts to talk, I start to channel, and I just feel like I want to get my sketches, and like I do when I'm with you, when I'm working with Lisa in any way, and I just start sketching and writing, and so, yeah, Lisa, you have to trust this, because this is something that's like coming, like a full cycle return that comes from many years back, and then from 8, 9, and then from, like, it's like there's you're here tying up all loose ends from many years, many times, into the now, as you get ready to walk into the light. So as much as things look one way, they're not going to be that way. There's not going to be that way for you. Stay true, stay rooted, stay grounded. But it's like all these hearts and all these hearts that are coming in. And so that balance, and keeping in the balance of how much you're giving to you right now, is so important. Tracy Leggett got a reading like this not long ago too. I know, it's something funny. Okay, and I do have to go to Jamie Lee. Jamie Lee, I am being guided to you today. Yes, I have some company today, Lisa. But I'll try to call you later. Yeah. Jamie Lee, I hope you're still here. Oh my God, Jamie Lee. You got the exact card that I came in with. See, it's in every single zodiac reading. Right back to the beginning, right back to the rebirth, that purity sense. And so back to the heart. There's a lot of heart healing, or a lot of like heart stories that are around you right now. Let me pull up the card first here, because I'm going to pull 2 cards to go with this for you. So, and for anyone who's new, who's watching, this is my deck of Oracle cards. This is the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. The box cover is on the wall. They're not out yet. We are still beta testing these cards. And so I'm just trying to decide now if I'm going to be, this is my final print that you're looking at on the screen. And then they're going to be going to, well, the cards are ready to go to print. The book is not. The book keeps changing. You're so welcome, Lisa. And so, yeah. And so, Jamie, I just feel you holding your loved ones close, holding the people that matter to you close. But what you're being told, Jamie, is that you have to hold you. So you have a very beautiful guardian watching over you right now. And the guardian, I don't feel like she's ever walked on earth. She's never walked on earth. She is an angel who has never walked on earth. I want to say she really, truly feels as if she is the beautiful Ariel is who she feels like to me. She's Ariel. She's here all about self-love, all about what you're going to give to yourself, and just a return to like the purity of just purifying your heart, purifying how, like, there's just so many things that just feels like for you, Jamie, you just can't understand. And some things are not meant to be understood. And sometimes we just can't understand why people do what they do, or why, why can we not just get this figured out? So there just feels like there's so much you're trying to figure out, so much that is truly that you're trying to figure out yourself, and you can't. So it's trusting God, it's trusting God conscious, it's trusting the stars, moons, I don't care what you believe in, but trusting that source energy is truly working on your behalf. And what you're trying to protect and how you're trying to protect it is, you have to follow your heart on that. You have to know that what you're doing is right. but you have to also protect your heart. You have to care for your heart. You have to do the things for you, Jamie, that are like, and I'm like leaning into you. I feel like it's like, I feel like this guardian, this angel is like leaning into you. Like she's just saying, you know what? All will be well. You have to know all will be well. There's a baby crying downstairs. And so you'll have to know that all will be well. But it's that sense of, same thing. There is some change coming for you. There is some answers coming for you. And I just feel like there's some clarity coming. And if you look really close at the card, we have the purple, we have the yellow, and we don't really pay attention to the yellow because the pink is so predominant. But if you look really close, that yellow really represents our solar plex energy, that power center of us. And so powered by love, powered by faith, powered by not resistance. So I just feel like whatever you have been resisting or wherever that resistance has been in your life, Jamie, I feel like that's lifting. That's kind of starting to like subside for you. And there is just a more sense of peace coming in, more sense of contentment somehow. But I am going to pull another card to go with this, but they're telling you to pay more attention to let the angel Ariel help you with the self-love part, and you pay more attention to what is it that I need to bring my sense of self back, my sense of who I am, my sense of worth. Like, I just feel like it's like, what do I need to do for me? Because it feels like you're not doing a whole lot for you right now, Jamie. Feels like everything is for everybody else and nothing is really for you. And so imperfectly perfect, and you got the imperfectly perfect Gemma. And so you have the Gemma energy here. And I feel like for you with this Gemma is that she's a 14. So like I said, that kind of teenager energy of resistance. I feel like you're being resisted a lot of areas. So let me get her up here. So if you look at her eyes, they're that crystally blue, and I feel like getting crystal clear. I feel like you're going to get crystal clear, not perfect. Things are not going to be perfect, but very crystal clear on what needs to be done, what you need to do, what needs to happen. And this is all very much still in the maiden energy. It's just the beginning. It is a new stage. And not to perfect things. Things cannot be perfect. And so what you're being told is I'm also going back, and I don't know why I'm picking up your mom, but I'm picking up your mother around you. And not that she's over here anywhere, but that I'm picking up your mother. And whatever that common thread is between you and your mom, and like, I don't know if it's perfection or if it's OCDs or if it's like something that is not connecting, where that's coming in, but it's like all the pieces coming together, or she's coming in to help you through something or help you with something. But if you look really close at the stone, is that, it's that Herkimer, I call it like the Herkimer stone, is because that's what it represents for me, is that precious gem, that precious stone. But I'm bringing attention to the throat area. And I'm picking up the throat. And if you can look closely at her throat, it's a different shade around her throat. So I just have, there's something of almost like finally being heard. Somebody is finally listening to you, or something that you need to say, or something that needs to be heard is finally being said. So there is something of a transformation, a change about to begin. But it's like, it's not going to be perfect, but there's a rest time. There's a pause time, because there's time that has to go into you right now. You'll be crystal clear in the next few months. It feels like the next few months, there's a lot of clarity coming in, and there's magic. There's just like, there's sense of healing or an offer or an opportunity coming in that really truly helps change things for you, Jamie. And I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be yet. It's still up in the air. But this is like, you are in some new energy. You're in some new times. And definitely there is some serious healing that is happening in you, for you, around you, that it is time for it to be done. You go for everyone else, but now it's time for you. And see the guardians. Bah, I just heard, pull another card and you'll see us. The guardians. I told you you got a guardian with you. And so you have this beautiful guardian angel. I get so excited about things. No matter how long I've been doing this. So this is the guardian. And so where is she? So she's validating this for you, and her name is Willow. And so Oh, so this is the beautiful guardian. She is the willow. And she is telling you, do you not see that you are being watched over? You're being guarded. You're being, and so as the flowers blossom, and if you look real close, there's like little cherry blossoms, there's all kinds, but there's also, it looks like almost like a pansy type of flower in here. And those wildflowers that grow like you're like, how does that get there? How did it like, this like in the middle of rocks, all of a sudden there's like a pink, a purple flower, or there's like a sunflower that's randomly growing up out of the rocks that shouldn't be there. It's like, it's just weird that you find those. Well, that's what your guardians, that's what the angels are telling you. You are going to find all throughout the summer, you're just going to keep finding these like flowers in these weird odd places, and you're going to see, you're going to return to believing in the magic of us, and you're going to know that we are with you. It's like pansies growing where they shouldn't, or you're going to be like, I didn't plant those, and they're there because they're meant to be there. Everything is showing up right where it needs to in the time that it needs to, and they're telling you to watch it. They're telling you to just keep watching for the things that are around you. Become very aware of your presence, of where you're walking, what you're looking at, where you're putting your focus, and making sure that you're not putting all of your focus into everything that is wrong. Turn your focus into everything that is positive, or everything that's in faith. And to just know, just keep looking for the beauty, keep looking for the good things, because you're going to see them happen. So hope that helps you in some way, Jamie. And some validation there for you with the angels. And I can tell you we have the angels very big with us. So, all right. Thank you. Let's clear these. Sherry Payne, are you still here? I seen you ask for Alan. Alan wanted a card. So if you're still here, Sherry. And Alan's going to get the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. Okay. So Alan's going to get the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. They come with attitude. So look out, Alan. Ha. The Rainbow Bridge, 15, which can be a 6, it can be a 4, and this is Emi. And this is the way home. And so this is truly coming home to you, and to be able to let something end. And I just feel like there's something of like having gone through a loss of somebody that you would have loved dearly, and so now like the effects of that, and still like holding on to things instead of letting some things die, letting some situations, some stories, some changes go. So there's something that needs to be set free, but you're finally walking into you somehow. But there's that last little bit, that last little gap, that last little space where there is still something of a fear of letting everything go or letting things end. And you have to be willing to finally, and I feel like this is coming with the new moon, to just set an intention that you're finally going to be kind of surrendering over what you can't control, what you can't change, and just knowing that. And so see, it's the most beautiful death card ever, but a death is not about always someone dying. It's about what we're unwilling to let die, what stories we hold on to, how long we hold on to it, and how it becomes a crippling fact of our lives, and what we can't move beyond. And so there's some sense of not being able to move beyond a story that's resonating with you. And I'm like, not sure. And the eye of the beholder, which is the queenie energy. So I don't know where or how you got treated like garbage, or why I have that garbage you kind of like, and by that I mean someone disrespecting, mistreating you, not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated, and kind of like, but always throwing it back on you, Alan. And that's coming up, and it's like whoever did that and wherever that, it's not a truth. And you can't continue to treat yourself that way in any way. So there's something of a lack of worth or not treating yourself as if you should, and it just has been overplaying. And see how colorful these cards are? So it's really coloring up your life right now to point it out, because it's an urgency. There's some sort of urgency for you to be able to start to make the changes in your life that you need to fully make for you, to start to walk in your light, to start to see the light within you, and to see that you have, and see around this heart, it's the same. I haven't got these cards, but around that heart, let me bring them up. Let me bring them up. So there's Amy. And see, it's instead of the power of I am, it's the me. It's me spelt backwards. That's when we're upside down. That's when we're like not within ourselves. We're running backward. We're running away from ourselves. And then me is coming home to me, coming back to self. So you are on your way. You're very much on your way, but there's just something that's just holding you back a little bit here. And so then number 32, she's right here. And so this, right? And so this is the eye of the beholder. And the way that this card was ever created was treat her or treat him, whoever we're talking about, or it, whatever it is, treat it like this, the situation, like treat it like this. And, you'll have this scattered, you'll see the sadness, you'll see the hurt, you'll feel the hurt. If you treat her like this, you'll see her smiling, you see the rainbow hearts falling, and you'll see the glow. And then she'll start to believe, and she'll start to walk towards herself. She, he. So this is change this face in this story to you, Alan. So somewhere in here is where you have an old story of hurt that is still holding on, that keeps you from being able to let yourself see all of the magic that's within, to see the spirit within, to see the light within you, so that you can start walking forward. And if you look at the heart and around the heart, you see how it's got those little black specks? So those little black specks represents when there is something unhealthy within us, within our hearts, within our minds, within our bodies, that affects us. But below that and smaller than that is those little, so the gold specks are the smallest, just like a hair strand, that the smallest molecule is the gold. It's the hardest one to get out, and it's the hardest to remove, because it's not meant to be removed. It's not meant to be taken out. So that beautiful light that's within you is really, truly holding on to you. And so, oh God, let me get rid of, hold on, I got to get rid of the, and so, yeah, so there's just something here that's saying, this parts of you, and then that turquoisey, that's the divine mother. That's the divine mother. And I feel like that's like a grandmother energy. That's kind of like somebody who's watching over you and say, you're very special. You have something very special about you. And when you walk in your truth, and then you're like, there's your big heart, there's your kind heart. And the halo, we all have these halos. And the halo is that ray of light that lets our light be seen. We all have innocence. We all have good. We all do the best that we can do. And everyone still has that essence within them. And the only thing takes that away is when we actually leave here. Yeah. So hope that resonates with you. I hope that helps you in some way. And thank you for being here with us. All right. And you're very welcome, Jamie. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. You're welcome. Okay. Let me get rid of those. Okay. Mary Ziegler. Are you still here, Mary? Mary Ziegler. Thank you, Crystal. Don't know if Mary's still here. Okay. I don't see Mary right now. So I want to go all the way back up, and I don't know if she's still here or not. And it was Lisa Jeffries or Lisa Jeffrey. I don't know if you're still here. Lisa Jeffrey. No. Okay. One last one I'm going to try, and I know she's here because she just commented, and that's going to be Krista Belter. Krista Belter. And please, guys, please feel free to share. Okay, Crystal Belter. You got the imposter light, Crystal. So I have O'Malley, and she's the imposter light, and she's just telling me that somewhere here, Crystal, is the energy of looking into. You're still there. Okay, so hold on. I'm just bringing your card back up, and I've already pulled this card as a general, but we're pulling her for you. And hello, my Aunt Wheezy, who's watching. I see you coming in and out there. Okay. So this is 28, and I'm just waiting for it to come up on screen. There we go. So this is the O'Malley. This is the imposter. So when we give so much of ourselves away and we lose ourselves everywhere, is that, we start to lose ourselves, is that we start to don't realize how much we have depleted our own energy, how much exhaustion that we have, how much we start to lose, pieces of ourselves. And so somewhere here, you still have this energy that's playing out for you. And I don't know where you do have like a European tie. I don't know, Crystal, if you had someone who was tied to like Normandy, like France, Normandy, that type of thing, because I also have somebody around you today. And I'm like, this feels like I don't know where this person's coming in, but it feels like a war, or Normandy, France, like being at war, something about being at war. Or if it's like a tie to war, the movies like about war horses and that kind of stuff. I'm seeing that kind of energy around you. And I don't know why that's around you today or where it's coming in, but I feel like there's some energy that is like projecting onto you, or somewhere where they're projecting energy onto you that is kind of depleting your energy, but it's not your truth. It's not your story. Those beautiful red flowers are coming in, blossoming in this card for you in a different way than they were in the original reading. This way, they're coming in as a messenger, and there is 4 of them. And no, there's 6 of them. 4 are very big, and then 2 are much, much smaller. And if you see she has purpley hair, the purple hair is really truly representing the kind of the third eye, living outside of your trust and outside of your faith. You're living outside of your faith somehow. But that woman that's coming in those big red flowers that are popping up is showing us to look deeper, look into those two little tiny red ones, look into the story deeper, look a little bit beyond. So there's just something deeper to look beyond. So I really want to look at, I keep going to um, her stomach area, and I keep going to like the sacral on her. Oh, okay, she was European? Okay, that makes total sense. Yeah, okay. And I'm like, and I just keep getting like going to the sacral, going to like the uterus, the ovary area, like into our womb stories, like, and into our connection to the womb stories. And so there's a lot of sacral, a lot of emotional healing that's coming in for around you today, and a lot of the emotional sense of self. It's like I can't get comfortable on my chair. So I don't know if someone, or if she had, or if you have, or something going on your, like your tailbone, your lower back. She was German. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, this goes a long way back. And I'm like, just felt like she just had to, like, didn't know who she could trust, didn't know where they could trust. Like, it just feels like there's just a lot of old energy. And so when I look at that O'Malley, I'm not seeing like a O'Malley, like an Irish woman, or seeing you so much. I'm seeing like an old European-y, like this goes way, way back. And so there's a story of way, way back. And so there's some things that are still being compared to the way things used to be. The way things used to be. Well, things can never be the way things used to be. The way things are today is the way they are. And you got to kind of be the comfortable in them. But I'm just uncomfortable. Like there's just this uncomfortableness in the chair, the uncomfortable sitting down, but it's in the sacral, but it's not in the front of the sacral. It's in the back of the sacral. And doing the healing work way, way back on the sacral, like back behind, closer to the tailbone, like the mid part, like below, up above the first two vertebrae, and then probably like third, fourth vertebrae up. And I just feel like in there and through the back of the hips and the pelvic bone, like all of that area. And I don't know if she had some issues there too, but I'm picking it up there. And I just feel like that's like becoming, having to plank yourself in, look into the light, look into your own light, look into your own energy, and to get very freaking crystal clear on what needs to be done. And it's like, and I just feel like that I'm like, I feel very cold. I feel very chilly. I feel like we're connecting to something that would have been like, not being able to stay warm, having a hard time. So this goes all the way back, and somehow it's connecting around you. And I don't know why she's so present with you today, or why she's there with you, but she's telling you to really look back in with your third eye, like look inside, look into like with our God mind, our God brain, our God eye, like to be able to look deeper into the story and into the heart of the matter, to be able to not look into the light of anything else that could be a fear story for you, and to return to the faith. And she's also shown me red flowers and blue butterflies. Red flowers and blue butterflies. And that's what she's connecting you to somehow. And she's bringing that up for you today. And see the diamond effect. And that's the same light. Like, what are we looking into? It's like you may have been dealt one hand, but it doesn't mean you can't reshuffle them. This is the hand you've been dealt with. You can just deal with it, or you can shuffle in some new cards. You can make some changes that need to be made. They left in the war. Ah, okay. Yeah, because I'm like, there's a lot of fear. I feel damp. I feel cold. Like, I feel like it's like just scared. Like, there's all kinds of, and she says, they made it through that. We made it through that. And if we can make it through, it's like people forget the hard times we've made it through before. And we've made it through the hard times. And there's just like, there's something that is like, just know that we can make it again. But there is some tough times. There's some hard times around us. And to be able to be in that and to hold on to the faith while in it. But she's walking with you. She's right there with you. She's present with you. She's showing you the essence of just understanding that sense of don't lose yourself. Stay kind, stay good, no matter what else is happening in the world. Escaping. Yeah. Does that make sense to you? because I really do. I get that sense of, yeah, escaping, running, like having to get away, having to break away, because they weren't that kind of people. Like whatever she's telling me, that wasn't me, that wasn't us. And now we're, and having to find her way into a new life, a new home. And so Perphone. So see, Perphone. And that's the sense of like, you're not the one who's pretending, put it that way. And so there's just a lot of other things that are around you and there. And so you got the double digits as well. You got the 3. And then if you take 28 and you break it down, subtract 2 and the 8, right? And we end up back in the 3s again. So it's the power of the 3s, the power of movement. And what I'm getting is there's just movement happening and change happening around you as well. So, but she's with you through whatever challenge that you have to go through, whatever it is that's facing you, whatever that is, that she's with you. And she's shown me like cold, frostbitten skin, like all of this kind of stuff, damp, wet. And I can just feel her. I can feel her escaping, getting away. And it's so real to me right now in this very moment. And so she's telling you what you're in right now is what's real. You can't escape what is real. It is there. And we've been through worse before. And she's there wrapping around you. She's telling you to go back inside of here and you'll find all the answers that you're going to need, and to just trust yourself. And I hope that helps you in some way. Okay, so I'm going to give everyone else one last card. Okay, Lisa, I will see you soon. So I got the exact same card again, Crystal, and it is the diamond effect. So it's the diamond effect, and it's funny because that's my course that's coming up at the end of April. Is the diamond effects. Where did she go? Hold on. So this card is for everybody. This is a general card, but it's funny because it popped up in Crystal's reading, but it's also for everyone. So the diamond effect to outgrowth effects. This is Christiana. And so when we wrote that and we're like, oh, does that sound right? But it's like, we trust channel. It just gets written how it comes. The diamond effect to outgrowth effects. And so it is what we are doing and the outcome that we get, right? So what situation, where we place ourselves, the hands we're dealt, and how we deal the next step, how we deal the cards, or how we expand ourselves beyond what we are dealt with. So sometimes we are dealt the life that seems like we can't make anything out of it. We can't get to work, or nothing's going our way, but there's always something. And so being able to know that the after effects and how we're going to represent, or how we're going to present ourselves into that new world, into our new self, is truly about where we look, where we put our vision, and where we're looking. Are we looking into the eyes of somebody else to be the change that we want to see? Or are we looking inside of us? And we're being told that we have to look within, and we have to look deep within, and that we have the, we can make the change. We can be the change that we want to see in our own selves. And just because one book is written, just because you wrote the book, don't mean you can't change it. So when I talk about my book and write my book, I'm like, I could go back and revise and re-edit this at any time. I had to take out a lot of stuff, and I can go back and put it in. There's a lot of things that can be done again. And so just because it was done, just because the way one thing was done or how things were always done, don't mean we have to keep doing them those way. And so you can always revise, you can re-edit, you can readjust, you can correct. So what you can do, so when we look at the past and how the past is that we can't change the past, but we can correct our course. And what we're being told is that we can really start to be able to look at things, not in a way of saying I shoulda, coulda, woulda, but how can I be the change I want to see? So we can look back and we can correct our course. We can get back on our path. And this is about being able to get back on our path, get back on our journey, and being able to trust that the journey that we're taking, it may not be easy. It may challenge us, but it will be worth it when we truly stay true to looking in the reflection of us that is walking forward, to the light of us that is moving forward, that is constantly on the move to moving forward. So I hope in some way these cards resonates with you today. And I hope that this gives you an opportunity to go into your third eye. And as we're coming up into I will be recording, I'm trying to hold on to my voice today. I will be recording the meditation for the new moon, and I will be back again tomorrow morning, and I'm trying to get the rest of the videos out. No, Will I back tomorrow morning? Yes. I teach at 11. So I'm teaching at 11:30. So if you're free, there is a 4-week, another one of my Goddess Within courses, and it's about the everyday goddess. And it's truly about us being able to find our way back into the faith of us, be able to trust that faith. But it's about being able to look at the projection of our lives and to be able to, I always ask this, like, do you understand the power of your soul language and being able to talk to the pain body, talk to the energy within. So the last one that I did was, this is all about soul retrieval. So it's about really truly picking up the pieces of you that you believe were taken away from you. And so when you learn to talk to the pain, it's that you talk to truth. When you talk about the soul language, you speak to this from the soul out. So those classes start tomorrow morning at 11:30 Mountain Standard Time. There's 4 of them. It's $144. You do have to go into Corrie School of Magic. All the link is below. And then my Diamond Effect course, that's the 9-week course, and that one's coming up the end of April. And so that one is a much bigger course. That one is about ascension. It is about being attuned to the light, to the light body. There's a lot of information going to be handed out in that one. It's a healing course. So it's me stepping up as the healer and doing the healing work, as is this one that I'm doing in a 4-week course as well. I do a lot of meditations in those work. I do a lot of ascension process. I do a lot of attunements on you guys. I am a professional trained healer. So I do that kind of work in my sessions with you. So there's one starting tomorrow morning at 11:30. If you want to get in with that one, it's live, it's interactive, or you can do the recordings later. And all you need is you and your journal. It is a morning to come in your pajamas, to relax, bring your coffee if that's what you want to do, and just sit in this energy of beautiful healing that happens in those courses. So thank you all for being with me, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye-bye.